Why did your family move from the Hoovers to 120th and Main?
Well, you know, my mother has, at the same time, when I was born, you know, my mother was married to my dad, you know what I mean? And they actually rented that house from my uncle, you know what I mean? And my uncle Ike, and which his son is Ike Jr. from Atlantic Drive, that was my cousin, you know, so I got cousins out of Atlantic Drive, Phi Trey Avalon, you know, of course, many of them out of Phi Deuce Hoover. And so, you know, I was connected with LA, but we rented that house. They rented that house because of my uncle owned it, you know. And 120th and Main, man, I got a lot of memories from that. Not to mention my great grandmother stayed right down the street on 120th, but she was more towards down San Pedro. Jump on my bike, roll down there, say I'm going to my grandmother's house, man, I'm way on Imperial somewhere, or I'm way on El Segundo somewhere. You know, times was different back then, you know what I mean?
So by the time your parents decided to move to Lynwood, your older brother was already like 13, 14. Was he kind of connected with the Athens at that time?
No doubt. You know what I mean? He represented Athens, and he went to Gompers. You know what I mean? And when he got to Gompers, by the time I got to the 4th grade, which is, if I was in the 4th, he was in the 8th, because he was 4 years older than me. They was at Gompers, man, and they had a situation because you had the Broadways, you had the East Coast, you had the Main Streets. You know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of the Athens Parks actually went to what was that junior high school over there?
Vanguard.
Vanguard. They went to Vanguard. You know what I mean? So while we was on that, he had to go to Athens. I mean, he had to go to Gompers. So when he got there, you know, 7th grade, he was in the 7th. You know what I mean? And actually, he was in the 7th because when we moved, he was in the 7th. So.
Were you aware that your brother was representing before you guys moved to Lynwood?
Yeah.
Did your brother come to you and say, I'm from Athens?
No doubt. Because like I say, my relative's still from Athens, still living in Athens. You know what I mean? And he ran with Papa. You know, I knew to get down. You know, my brother was APB. You know what I mean? And he a young dude. You know what I mean? You know, and don't get me wrong. You know, but that was his get down. I'm from Athens. Me, I'm a kid. I go to Athens Park to do this, but I might ride over here and holler at my little partners, but they brothers was from East Coast, so I was getting my gangbang history, you know what I mean? I jump on my bike, I go over there to 121st, it was an OG Athens Park named K-Rock. And for some reason, K-Rock used to talk to me and, you know, lace me on the game, but I think his main thing was, man, where you live at, right on this corner where we banging at, hey, be careful, man. Y'all be careful, you and your brother, y'all be careful. You know what I mean? Because we stayed on the hot spot, man. We stayed right there. You know what I mean? Like I said, if I pull out into my alley, that's 11-8. That's Athens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you were there early 80s.
Early 80s. We moved to 82.
82. Okay.
I was in 4th grade.
Yeah, I remember Calico got shot in 85.
I remember Calico.
84,
Yeah, I remember Calico.
And he was a major figure at that time when he got shot.
Yeah.
And he's paralyzed. He's still, to this day, he's still doing well.
Yeah, them names, them OGs over there.
Okay, so what's funny is if your parents never decided to move, you would have definitely been in Athens.
No doubt. You know what I mean? No doubt. You know, and I still got a gang of love for him. And like I say, my relative, he's still over there to this day. He ended up getting granddaddy house, so he's still in the park. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you moved to Lynwood, and I'm assuming the part of Lynwood you moved to is close to the border of Compton.
Well, the border of Compton runs right through our neighborhood. You know what I mean? So you got to divide. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because when I moved to the hood in '82, it was 90%. Cross Atlantic was 90% Lynwood, and 10% Compton because the border come through there. And today, and for many years, it's really now 90% Compton, 10% Lynwood. You know what I mean? So you won't hear nobody today say Lynwood. You know what I mean? You know, but originally that's what it was.
So some cats during your generation or before you were repping Lynwood?
No doubt.
Oh, okay.
You know, and they was ripping and repping it strong. You know what I mean? They took pride in it because we was the only Pirus in Lynwood. And depending on where you lived at, you had to go to Lynwood schools. All the homies, the Lime Hood Pirus, the Ludus Parks, they went to Whaley Junior High. Some of us had to go to Hostler Junior High, which is over there connected to Lynwood Park. And it was all Crip Junior High, you know what I mean? So when I got there in like '85, that was really my first taste of real gang banging. You know, I was from the set, you know what I mean, at an early age. When I say early, 5th grade, I was from the hood. You know what I mean? Like I could jump on my bike and go to anywhere in Cross Atlantic fuck with any of the homies, the G homies. Even they mamas used to come out. Boy, what you doing out here with them? You know what I mean? And the homies, man, that's the little homie. That ain't no little homie. That's the kid. But the homies knew I was cool since the 5th grade. You know what I mean? So by the time you get to the 7th grade, I went to an all-crib junior high, and that's really when I cut my teeth in the gangbanging.
Now, what were your parents thinking at this time? Did they already knew your older brother was from Athens?
Right.
You just now representing Cross Atlantic. What are they thinking?
Well, you got to think as parents and shit. You know, they gonna look at the best in their kids. You know what I mean? And I was kind of not to try to make it seem like record show. I was kind of bright. You know what I mean? I got decent grades. You know, I lived 2 lives for a long time, Alex. You know what I mean? And I go to school, you know what I mean, and push that line. You know, and I was on a bike, backpack, 6th grade. I go get 20, 30 motherfuckers to come holler at you if I needed to. I'm moving little shit around the neighborhood in the backpack on my bike. You know what I mean? The homies really, by 6th grade, the homies had full trust in me. Like, this dude's solid. 6th grade, and I didn't look at it at that time as that what it was. It took me many years to go look back and say, what was you dudes doing fucking with a 6th grader? You know what I mean? Like, you know, because I wouldn't want my 6th grade son running around on neighborhood fucking with nobody. You know what I mean? You know, especially some gang members. But to be honest with you, I was in a gang, Alice, before I knew I was even in a gang.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description, and thanks for watching StreetTV.net.